Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits. Well, it's not actually a review today, it's a homebrew. Day one of a new homebrew kit. Usually the light comes on. So, today's kit, hopefully it shows it better than what it does at the moment. So it's Wilko's have brought out a new artisan range. So they've got the core range of beers, which are 12 quid each. And they've brought out their artisan range. 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4, was the 5 new real ale kits. And I've done the Chopmaster Stout kit, which was a 1 tin 40 pint kit. Absolutely banging. Great chocolate stout. Can't fault it really, you know. And if you use different ingredients, add a bit of coffee to it, you know. Mix some coffee up in a jar and add that to it, you know, at the end. You can improve flavours and that if you really wanted to. I suppose if you got some chocolate and melted it and added it to it. I don't know if that chocolate would work that way. Maybe you'd have to have chocolate flavouring. So this is their winter ale kit. I think you can see it on there. I wish this. Ah, there we go. Hey, real light. So it's their winter ale kit. It's a 2 tin. So here's the tins. Kit. Traditional bitter is enhanced by cinnamon and spice flavours, giving a well balanced warming brew. An ABV of 4.8%, so nice strength. If you wanted to play around, you know, I'm sure there's home brewers out there who play around with all the, you know, you can stick rigidly to the instructions, or you can brew short. So instead of brewing 32 pints, you brew 24 or whatever, and that increases the ABV, you know, the alcohol content, and probably the flavours if anything. Or you can add sugar and brew a bit longer. You know, brew 36 pints instead of 32. It's, you know, we all do what we want to do when it comes to brewing. So, yeah, 16 litres, so quite a bit lower than what I've normally brew. So it says that every beer kit in our Wilko homebrew range starts life as barley growing in the rich soils of farmers' fields in East Anglia, England. The high quality barley is malted in Stowmarket, where the grains are soaked and partially grown so the natural sugars are released and characteristic malt flavours are developed. At the heart of this homebrew kit is a syrup made using British malt, water and heat, concentrated under vacuum to protect the delicate flavour profile. The syrup is enhanced with choice hops to create a beer of distinction. To complete the brewing process, sachets of carefully selected brewer's yeast and natural warming spice flavours are supplied in this kit. So, here's your instructions. If you've never done a kit before, read your instructions, you know. Now, I've already got the bucket here, so we'll spin round. So there's the bucket, it's all been sterilised. I've just put 2 litres of hot water already in there. We've got it steamed up. Hello. That's what you get for putting it over the thing, isn't it? So let me do that. Oh, that's better. Never done that before. Right, so I'm going to open these tins. I've already warmed the tins, because all these malt tins, they ask you to warm them first. It just helps, you know, the malt, warms the malt, it makes it easier to pour out, in theory. So, just pour one in. Very gloopy. When you first do these kits, they are very, very gloopy. And you're going to be putting some hot water into the tins. Now what I will say is, be extremely careful, because the tins get, as you can imagine, blooming hot. Right, so, and it gets everywhere. If you're not careful, it gets everywhere. Right. So there you can see, if you can see in the bottom of the tin, it's really gloopy still. So I'm going to do the other one now, and then I'm going to put hot water in both tins, because what I want to do is get every last little drop of that malt, because obviously the malt's what makes the beer. And you don't pay, 19 quid this kit cost me. It said it was normally 21 quid in price. I would say that's true. Wilko's don't mess about with their pricing. Alright, let's pour this one in as well. So then, while that's pouring in, I'm going to add a bit of water to this kit, up to about the halfway mark, because what I want it to do, I'm going to put a spoon in there and try and get the rest out. Alright, so pour the water into this one. We're cooking in here at the moment, so it's really steamy, as you can see. So, oh, it's warm. So, get the paddle. Don't use a wooden paddle. Always use plastic, because what happens is wood will soak in the flavours of whatever you've been cooking with it. Plastic obviously won't. So I'm going to give them a good stir. Try not to burn myself doing it. And get all that lovely malt. Wow, it really is steaming up in here. Get all that lovely malt diluted down so it flows out the tin on this next pour. You want your tins as clear as you can get, because obviously you paid for this malt. You want to use every ounce of it if you can. Alright. So, tea towel. Wow, I can't believe how much it's steamed up. Let me try and clean it again. There we go. We're back. So yeah, tea towel around it. Try not to get the tea towel on the bit of the malt that's probably dropped down the outside of the tin like I have. And then you're going to pour it in without burning yourself. And as you can see, I don't know if it will show up, but yeah, that's cleared the tin, for the most part anyway. I mean, you might not get 100% of it out, but you've got to try and get as much as you can. And again, pretty much clear now. Bit on the lid, am I bothered? I'll pour a bit more on the lid just to get rid of the stuff on the lid. Close this a little bit. So that's pretty much spotlessly clean now, that. And blooming out as well. Right. Quite a nice taste of malt. Ooh, wow. Maybe not. Oh, that's strong. So. Right, so that's poured in. So now we've got to fill it up to 16 litres using a mixture of hot water, cold water. Reminding ourselves that there's a, in the instructions it'll tell you not to go above a certain temperature for when you add the yeast, which will be something about 23 degrees normally. Yeah, it doesn't actually tell you. So it wants to be warm but not red hot. I mean, at the moment it's red hot. So I'm going to be careful with this one because it's 16 litres. I normally do 3 or 4 boils of the kettle, but I've got a funny feeling I'm nowhere near that many. And if it looks like I'm sweating, it's because it's absolutely roasting in here. Which is better because it's absolutely freezing outside. Not the greatest time of year to be a gardener, as I am. But in any job, if you pick your job, you know, and you keep getting a blast of warmth every hour, you know, not usually too bad. I don't think I'm going to need that other kettle. It is, you know, you probably want to get your own thermometer when you do this because to get it perfect takes a little bit of work, you know. So it looks like I'm going to have to put over half a kettle in, I reckon, just to get it warm enough. The thing you don't want to do is get it too hot, because too much heat will kill the yeast. If it's a bit cooler, the yeast will take a bit longer to start, and as long as it's in the warmish room, you know, the temperature will sort itself out, and the yeast will, you know, really go for it. And in a room of 20-22 degrees, which is what this kitchen is, well, at the moment it's about 35 because I'm baking. So, nearly there, nearly at the 16. I'm going to give it a good swirl round. And I'm just going to go slightly over because obviously with sediment you do lose nearly a litre. So I'm going to go slightly more. Yep. So I've gone to 17 litres because you lose a litre anyway. You know. Time to give it a good stir. And the funny thing is when you stir it, it actually smells like some of these alcohol-free beers that you get, like St. Peter's. And I normally, this is the problem of doing on camera sometimes, but there you can see. So I'm giving it a good stir, trying to get that malt off the bottom, you know. Better off stirring when it's a bit hotter. Bit of a cardinal error there. So as soon as you can feel it that it's, you know, it's not all gloopy at the bottom. Wow, temperature. Right, so it's all stirred. It's not too thick at the bottom now. It seems to have worked its way in. So, spread the yeast over the top. And just read the instructions. Some say stir it. Yeah, so you don't even have to just sprinkle it on the top. And whoa, bugger, lost some. And like so. So, quick sprinkle, there we go. And that's it. And now, We've just got to wait a few days now. Probably about a week and a half. I like to overbrew it. I like it to totally stop. I don't use I can't even remember what you call them now. But anyway, I'll let it keep brewing until I know that there's no bubbles coming from it, because, you know, we're not in that much of a hurry. Let it do its thing. The bubbles will sort themselves out, and you know, that's it. So there it is, all done. I've just got to wipe that off and get rid of that, and then that's going to sit there for the next week in this warm kitchen, and by the end of that we'll have a nice brew. This also comes with a kit, so it's a spiced apple flavouring. Not much flavouring really when you think about it, but obviously it doesn't need that much, and that is what will finish the kit off at the end. Thanks for watching, see you soon.